heard the term glossophobia? It's actually the fear of public speaking. Now, believe it or not, it finds its way in the top 5 of most people's fears. Sometimes it's the top 2, right there under death. So I want to talk a little bit about public speaking anxiety because it's important that you understand you have it because you're human. So let's talk a little bit about why do we have it? What is it about it that makes us really anxious? I want you to write down 3 things. One is you maybe have just had a lack of positive experience. You didn't experience a good situation where you were presenting and then it didn't reinforce that, what we call neurologically, or with happy chemicals like dopamine. Second, we feel different. There's something about getting up in front of people, physically separating ourselves that makes us feel a little bit different. And finally, being the center of attention. We weren't made to take a stage. There's something about this process that makes us feel like people are staring at us. All right, so when do we get anxious? This is what your textbook will go over, and there are 4 stages to this. What I want you to do is you're taking notes of this. I want you to think about which one where do I think I experience it the most so that I can focus on that area. And there are 4 primary ones. Pre-preparation, the minute you find out that you have to give a presentation. And then we have preparation. While you're in the process of researching and get it together, it can become overwhelming, and that can make you a little bit anxious. Then we have pre-performance. You should know that this is where most people experience the highest levels of anxiety, right before they go on stage. And finally, during the actual performance itself, you can still experience levels of anxiety, although research says it will actually start to subside. So finally, let's talk about what can you do to help, right? 4 things I want you to write down that are helpful tips. Prepare, practice, practice, practice. Modify your thoughts. Give yourself some positive self-talk. I can do this. Lots of people have done this. I'm capable, and I have good information to share. Practically relax and breathe. Take deep breaths. There are lots of resources online that will help you do that effectively, but really take a minute, slow things down. And then finally, use movement. Think about in science class when you learned about potential energy and kinetic energy, right? We have stored up and then we kind of release it. And as you use gestures and as you move around, it can kind of help you release that energy. All right, here's what I want you to take away from this section of the textbook. Anxiety happens because you are human, not because you are incompetent or less intelligent. It's because you are human. It's not something we overcome, but it is something we can adapt to. So I hope the next time someone asks you if you've ever heard the term glossophobia, you'll say, I know what it is, but I understand it and I know some ways to cope with it.